The Bobby Darin mystery finally solved, and it's not good. Bobby Darin was born Wilden Robert Casado on May 14, 1936 in the Bronx, New York City. When he was little, Darin was really good at music, learning to play piano and guitar as a kid, which helped him become famous later. Darin's music career was amazing because he could do so many different things. He started with rock and roll and pop songs, but then he also learned to play jazz, folk, country, and even big band swing music. Being good at all these different types allowed him to reach lots of different people, making him a special person in the music world back then. His big break came in 1958 when he made the hit song Splish Splash. It was a fun, catchy rock and roll song that became really popular really fast and made him a cool new singer in American pop music. After this first success, Darin's career grew with lots of great hits that people still love today, like Dream Lover, Mack the Knife, and Be in the Sea. Mack the Knife especially showed how Darin could put drama and excitement into his singing, winning him the Grammy Award for Record of the Year in 1960. His version of the song was a brave new way to sing the old tune from the Three-Penny Opera, mixing jazz and pop in a way that got people excited and critics impressed. This success shot Darin up to becoming famous around the world and made his place in the group of amazing American singers. Bobby Darin's 1960 recording of Artificial Flowers shows how good he was at mixing different things in music to make something really cool and memorable. The song was first written by famous Broadway writers Sheldon Hornick and Jerry Bach for their musical Tenderland, a show that talked about dark and serious problems, including how kids were forced to work in 19th century New York City. The words of Artificial Flowers sadly tell the tragic story of a child worker dying too young, making people feel really sorry and sad, but instead of singing it in a sad or gloomy way like you might think with such a story, Darin chose to sing the song with a jazzy big band music made by music arranger Richard Burka. This music backing was lively, bright, and full of energy with loud horns, swinging beats, and fast tempos just like big band jazz music. This smart choice between the tragic and heartbreaking words and the happy jazzy music made the song hit people harder, making listeners think about the story in many ways. It was Darin's smart way of singing songs, his willingness to try new things, and his amazing ability to bring theater and storytelling into popular music shows. This recording not only showed Darin's music skills, but also showed his good sense of storytelling through song, hinting at many directions his career would go in the years ahead. Moving forward to 1962, Bobby Darin started a big change in his music style by writing and singing country music, a type that let him talk about love, heartbreak, and everyday life with a new and real voice. This change was marked by lots of successful singles that people really liked in both America and around the world. One of his best country hits was Things, which went up to number 3 on the US charts and number 2 in the UK, making one of his biggest hits around the world. The song's touching words and catchy tune cut the sweet and sad feelings of love and loss, and Darin's smooth singing added warmth and honesty that people of all ages liked. Along with Things, Darin put out You're There song I'm Living, another big hit that went up to number 3 on the US charts. This song made his place in the country music world even stronger by showing his ability to share deep feelings and romantic wanting with skill and passion. Another great song from this time was 18 Yellow Roses, which reached number 10 in the US charts. The song was a touching ballad filled with young innocence and charm, showing Darin's skill in mixing country storytelling ways with pop music that everyone could enjoy. During this busy time, Darin worked with Capitol Records, a big record company. He joined in 1962 after leaving his old contract with Atlantic Records. His time at Capitol was marked by focusing on country and pop crossover hits, showing the company's help with his trying out different music styles. But after a few years in 1965, Darin went back to Atlantic Records, starting another chapter in his growing career. Notably, he left Capitol Records in 1964, showing the end of this special creative time under that company's name. Darin's willingness to switch companies showed his desire for freedom to make art and looking for the right place to show his many talents. One of Darin's later chart success was his 1966 version of Tim Hardin's If I Were a Carpenter, which became his last hit, reaching number 9 and also got to number 8 on the US charts. This song showed yet another side of Darin's music flexibility. Written by folk singer-songwriter Tim Hardin, the song was first a gentle folk ballad. Darin's version a more polished pop-style production that made more people like it, helping it reach more people while keeping deep feelings of the original. This track was an important step in Darin's career, showing his continuous growth and ability to sing contemporary songs in his special style. Besides his work on the charts, Darin also sang for movie soundtracks, making his artistic work even more varied. In 1965, he sang both the opening and closing songs for the Walt Disney film that Darin Cat. This working with a big film project showed Darin's growing presence in entertainment beyond just recording studios and concerts. His singing in this family-friendly funny film showed his charm and wide appeal to people of all ages. The power of Darin's songs went beyond his own recordings. For example, the song Things was famously sung by Dean Martin and performed on the 1967 television special Moving with Nancy, which starred Nancy Sinatra. This version by another famous artist of that time showed the lasting popularity and appeal across generations of Darin's music. It also showed how his songs could be sung by other performers, making his work part of the culture of the 1960s. Beyond his music success, Darin was also a really good actor, starring in movies like Come September 1961 with Rock Hudson and Gina Lau Britain Pressure Point 1962, which got him a Golden Globe nomination. His exciting screen presence and natural talent for acting went well with his music personality, showing yet another side of his artistic abilities. Darin's trying acting showed his desire not to be stuck in just one type of entertainment and his willingness to challenge himself creatively. Throughout his career, Darin was known for his never-stopping work and his goal to constantly grow as an artist. Even though he faced big health challenges, he was told he had a serious heart condition as a child and had open heart surgery in the late 1970s. He stayed dedicated to performing and making music that really touched his audience. His personal struggles with health added a touching part to his public image, making his achievements even more amazing considering the hard times he faced. Darin's first marriage was to the well-known actress Sandra Dee. A marriage that began on December 1, 1960. Famed in the romantic and historic city of Rome, Italy during the filming of the movie Come September, which came out in 1961. This was an important time in both their lives as they were young rising stars in Hollywood, and the film itself was the background for the start-off-tier relationship. Interestingly, it wasn't just luck that brought them together. It was Sandra Dee's mother, Mary Duvon, who played a big role in encouraging the actress to give Darin a chance. Mary saw something in Darin, or maybe just wanted to help her daughter try something new, and she talked Sandra into going on a date with him. Even though her mother pushed her, Dee's first thoughts of Darin were complicated and mixed. In later interviews, Sandra Dee openly talked about how their relationship was and about Darin's personality. She said he was a man who loved her deeply, but also had a sneaky side. According to Dee, Darin did not come to the situation in Rome with a clear plan to marry her, the so-called new Little Mary Pickford of Hollywood, but his personality left a strong impression. Darin was rude, pushy, and always trying to get a reaction from people around him. She admitted to not liking him much at the start, even calling him a sneaky so-and-so. These honest words show a complicated relationship where liking someone and being annoyed existed together. Even with these problems, their relationship moved forward. And on December 16, 1961, the couple had their son, Mitchell Darin. This new baby in their lives marked a milestone that seemed to make their partnership stronger. Throughout the early 1960s, Darin and Sandra Dee were seen as Hollywood's golden couple, a glamorous pair that got the public's imagination and media attention. They were the perfect example of young success and charm, making red carpet appearances and working on projects that often connected their personal and professional lives. However, underneath this polished image, their marriage was full of problems. The couple faced ongoing troubles that made their relationship harder over the years. The pressure of fame, clashing personalities, and maybe third parts of growing up in the public eye hurt them. After years of good times and bad times, their marriage officially ended in divorce on March 7, 1967. This breakup marked the end of an important chapter in Darin's personality, one that had shaped much of his public personality during that time. After the end of his marriage to Sandra Dee, Darin found love again with Andrea Yerger, who was not from the entertainment world, but worked as a legal secretary. The two met in 1970 during a time when Darin's career and health were going through changes. Their relationship grew more quietly and privately compared to his first high-profile marriage. After dating and living together for about 3 years, they decided to marry on June 25, 1973. This marriage was pretty short and happened during a challenging time for Darin. Just 4 months after their wedding in October of the same year, they divorced. The reasons behind this quick separation came mostly from the stress caused by Darin's getting worse health problems. As Darin fought big medical problems, mostly related to his heart, these difficulties put huge stress on their relationship. The hard work of caring for a partner facing serious illness combined with personal and emotional challenge helped break down their marriage. Even though this second marriage was short-lived, it showed a time in Darin's life marked by weakness and change, very different from the youthful excitement of his earlier years. Bobby Darin, a famous person in the mid-20th century American music scene, has long been surrounded by mystery that goes beyond his clear talents as a singer, songwriter, and actor. For decades, fans and historians have wondered about the mysteries surrounding his life, especially the things leading to his early death at the young age of 37. Recently, details no one knew before have come to light that finally show a harsh and serious light in the truth behind these mysteries. And unfortunately, what we found out is far from good. Bobby Darin's life was marked by tremendous artistic success and bright energy, but it was also clouded by health struggles and personal problems. Born Walden Robert Casado in 1936, Darin's amazing rise from humble beginnings to stardom seemed almost meant to be. His ability to cross types from rock and roll to jazz to folk showed a rare skill that few of his contemporaries could match. However, behind this dazzling public personality was a man fighting lifelong health problems related to a heart defect he was born with. For years, Darin pushed himself without stopping, touring, recording, and acting, seemingly determined to live life at full speed despite his physical limitations. The mystery surrounding his death has long puzzled those close to him and fans alike. At first, Darin's death in 1973 was blamed on heart failure, a tragic but somewhat expected outcome given his medical history. Yet, whispers continued about whether his death might have been made faster by other factors, including lifestyle choices, emotional stress, or even medical neglect. These guesses remained largely unconfirmed until recent investigations showed previously sealed medical records and testimonies from those who were part of his final days. The truth is unsettling. Darin's heart condition was made worse by a combination of neglect and risky behavior, including refusing to follow medical advice strictly, made worse by the pressures of keeping a public image. More troubling still are the things we found out about how Darin's health and career were handled by those around him. Behind the scenes, those responsible for his care and career were often more focused on money and public image than on his well-being. Finance demands of the entertainment industry in the 1960s and early 1970s meant that Darin was pushed to perform even when he was physically weak. Reports suggest that some doctors were pressured to clear him for shows and recording sessions despite clear signs of trouble. Furthermore, the emotional cost of dealing with fame, a complicated personal life, and chronic illness led him into times of depression and isolation, making his strength even weaker. Perhaps the most touching aspect of this mystery is the personal cost to Darin himself. A reprobate individual, he hid much of his suffering behind an infectious smile and exciting performances. His family and close friends were often kept far away from the reality of his getting worse health, and his public image was carefully managed to preserve the mid-off and never giving up star. This double existence between the man the world loved and the man struggling in private added a tragic dimension to his story. Ultimately, the mystery was not just about how he died, but about how a young man with so much talent and promise was allowed to endure so much pain and neglect. The final solving of the Bobby Darin mystery forces us to reconsider the true cost of fame and the responsibilities owed to those who live in its glare. It is a serious reminder that behind the glamour and success often lies weakness that is too easily ignored or dismissed. The story of Bobby Darin serves as a warning tale about the dangers of pushing individuals beyond their limits and the critical importance of genuine care and compassion both from medical professionals and from those closest to stars. The truth may not be good, but it finally allows us to see the full human story of Bobby Darin, not just the legend.